Hey guys, it's Jen. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another weekly meal prep video. So this week I am going to be out of town for part of the week, and so my meal prep is not going to be as extensive as it sometimes is. Some of the things that I have planned to make are a pork tenderloin. I'm going to roast that in the oven and then just slice it up so we can have that in the fridge to eat on during the week. I'm going to make some chicken stock, probably like some snack food, like lunchbox type things for the kids to take to school while I'm gone, and maybe some hard-boiled eggs and some muffins for the kids. So that's kind of what I'm planning on doing. I'll obviously show you guys everything that I end up making, but I did want to sort of answer some questions I've been getting about keto. So over a month ago, I was doing low carb or keto, at least during the week anyway. And I was doing what I eat in a day videos or what I eat in a week videos. And the amount of like negative, nasty comments that I got on those videos was far and above any other video I've ever posted. And the last video that I posted, I got a comment that really hurt my feelings, telling me how fat I was and that I'm going to get fatter if I continue to not be committed to this way of eating, and so on and so forth. I understand that I'm going to get that kind of stuff, but I'm not here for that. Like, I don't think anyone deserves to be talked to that way, and I just feel like I'm here to share my life and tips and whatever with you all. I'm not here to get criticized by strangers on the internet. So with that being said, I can give you an update. I did not do keto or anything really the whole month of October. I ate normally. I tried to, cut down on refined carbs, but I still drank beer and wine and kind of just ate what my family was eating, except maybe smaller portions. And I started exercising. I've been walking and or jogging 30 to 60 minutes each day. My kids are in swim now, so I've been going to the track at the high school while they're at swim. And yeah, so anyway, in October, I lost over 9 pounds just by doing that. And I think that was due to just cutting back on my alcohol during the week and exercising, like I said, and then just trying to, control my portions, which is not usually hard for me anyway, since I did have VSG surgery several years ago. So that's kind of an update on weight loss. Again, I'm not out to make a weight loss channel or anything like that. I'm not really concerned or obsessed about it at this time. A lot of you guys don't know that I'm much thinner and healthier than I was 3 years ago. I am happy with my body. If other people have a problem with it, then I guess that is their choice. But yeah, I'm not going to post videos like that anymore, just because it's not worth it to me and my mental health to keep getting comments like that. Like, I just can't. I can't I can't put myself through that. So I will continue to do the meal prep videos, obviously, because I do that every week regardless. I'll continue to do the grocery hauls. I'll continue to do like cooking videos or what's for dinner videos. And if I do a day in the life vlog, I'll probably show you what I eat that day. But anyway, that's just kind of an update on that. I wanted to address it because I've been getting some questions. So now that I have rambled on long enough, let's get into the meal prep. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do on this day is to portion out a ham that I got at Hy-Vee. Every year around Thanksgiving, Hy-Vee has a buy one, get one free special on their hams and turkeys. So usually if you buy a ham, you can get a turkey free. And so I usually do that since I am hosting Thanksgiving this year for sure. And I'm probably going to make half of this ham plus a turkey. So I wanted to go ahead and portion that out, and what I'll do is put those in the freezer for a later use. The next thing that I'm going to meal prep is a pork tenderloin. Hy-Vee also had these on sale, buy one get one free, so I got 2 pork tenderloins for $9, and I'm just putting this in the oven in a greased baking dish, and I'm going to roast it at 350 for about 45 minutes until it is cooked through. For pork, I definitely like to use a meat thermometer, so you can see here that I took it out of the oven when it was about 160 degrees Fahrenheit, and then I will let that sit in the baking dish with foil covering it until it is cool enough to slice. So now that it's cool enough, I will go ahead and slice it on an angle with my chef's knife. I will leave a link to that knife in the description box below. I do get a lot of questions on that. But this is my favorite knife that I have had for many years, and I love cooking with it. So since I'm going out of town this weekend, I'm going to just go ahead and slice this up, put it in a dish, and obviously Connor is sitting there, and so he wants some too, but my husband can heat this up and make some mac and cheese or something else on the side for the kids and have a quick dinner. So the next thing that I'm going to do is just wash up my grapes. I usually buy a bag of grapes every single week, and my kids eat them for lunches, they eat them for breakfast, and we can also take them to work during the week as well in a little baggie for our lunches or snacks. The way I like to wash mine up is to take them off the stems and put them in my salad spinner. This is an OXO salad spinner, and if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I always use this and I love it. It's my favorite kitchen gadget. I will leave it a link in the comments below, or in the description box below, I guess, so you can find that on Amazon if you're interested in it. So I'm just going to soak these in some cold water with a little bit of vinegar for about 15 minutes until all of the dirt falls off. Then I will rinse them off, and I'm going to put them in a reusable bag, keep them in the refrigerator so we can use them later. So one of the things that I'm going to make this week is a soup in the crock pot. It's a chicken gnocchi soup. I will leave the link to the recipe in the description box below, but it does call for a mirepoix, or onion, carrot, and celery chopped up. And so in order to make that quick for the week ahead, I went ahead and diced up those veggies and put them in a glass dish to keep in the refrigerator, so that when it was time to make it, I could just put the chicken and the veggies in the dish and cook it in the crock pot. So I chopped up some onion and some celery, and now I'm just going to chop up some carrots, and I will put that in the refrigerator so we can use that later in the week. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is just slice up an onion. This is going to be for some roast beef that I'm going to make in the crock pot this week. I wanted to make hot beef sandwiches. If you guys don't know what those are, it's basically a pot roast on bread with mashed potatoes and gravy. It is really good. And for the rest of my celery, it was starting to go south a little bit, and so I'm just putting that in my stock bag. I keep a bag of vegetables in the freezer to make chicken stock with when I get enough. So the next thing that I'm going to do is just wash up my pears. I got a bag of pears at the grocery store this weekend, so I just like to soak those in cold water with a little bit of vinegar and then rinse them off really well. When they're done getting rinsed off, I just put them on a towel and dry them off, and then I will go ahead and put them in the fruit bowl. These are still a little bit green, and so they need to sit on the counter and ripen a little bit before we eat them. So the next thing that I'm going to prep is just a salad for lunch for work this week. I had a little bit of leftover iceberg lettuce, so I just chopped out the core, and I'm going to put that in my salad spinner, put some lemon juice in it, and soak it in cold water until it's clean, and then I'll go ahead and spin it dry, and it is ready for me to use for the week. So for this salad, I had a leftover ribeye steak, or half a leftover ribeye steak actually, that we had the night before for dinner, and so I just sliced that up, and I'm going to section it in a glass dish. And then the other side, I'm going to tear up some iceberg lettuce. I had some left over in the refrigerator, so I'll use some of that along with the stuff that I just washed. And then I also had some leftover cherry tomatoes, so I'm going to just slice those in half and put them in the dish as well. When you pre-make salads, I think it's really important to keep all the elements separate so they don't make each other soggy, and then it will keep in the refrigerator for about 2 to 3 days. So the next thing I'm going to layer in there is some sliced cucumber and some sliced green onion. And then I will also take a little bit of blue cheese that I had in the refrigerator and just sprinkle that over the top. I also made some homemade blue cheese dressing, which I'll leave a link to that in the description box below. I actually got that from the Food Network magazine. So I'm going to put that in a little container and I will put it in the salad, and then I will have that for later in the work week. For the rest of the lettuce, I'll just put that in a Ziploc bag and keep it in the refrigerator to use for salads and meals. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to make is some chicken salad. Now, normally when I make my chicken salad, I like to use higher quality chicken than canned chicken. But since I was going to be out of town this week and my husband does not mind it when I make it with the canned chicken, I thought I would just make it this way because I had some in the pantry to use up. So I just went ahead and flaked up the chicken in a bowl, and I'm adding some chopped celery along with some chopped grapes. I actually had these grapes left over from last week in the refrigerator and they stayed perfectly. So I'm going to use them up in the salad, but I'm just going to slice those and get them in the bowl with the chicken and the celery. Next, I will add just a little bit of green onion. I'm also going to squeeze some lemon juice down over the mixture. So this juicer is from Amazon. I love it. I use it probably every time I meal prep. So I'll leave a link for that down below if you're interested. I'm also adding some honey just to kind of balance the lemon juice a little bit, some salt, pepper, and dill weed, and then I will add my mayo. So as you can see, I don't really measure for this chicken salad. I have made it so often that I just kind of mix everything together and taste it and decide what it needs more of. And I would just encourage you to do the same. The more that you are in the kitchen and the more that you cook, different things like this, the better you get at it and the more confident you are in not measuring. The recipe that this is based off of is a Pioneer Woman recipe, and so I can link that down below just so you have kind of a blueprint to go off of. But I do like to meal prep this because it stays great in the fridge all week. Okay, so I know that you guys don't come to my channel to watch me make boxed food, but this week I was short on time, and I know that my kids love to have muffins for breakfast, and so that's normally one of the things that I meal prep for them on the weekends. But there was an Ibotta rebate for these Krusteaz muffin mixes, and this one was the cinnamon one, and my kids really love like cinnamon streusel muffins, and so I just decided to make this for their muffin meal prep this week. So they'll have these for breakfast along with some fruit, and then they can also pack them for snacks to take to school or have them as an after school snack or put them in their lunchbox. So I just mixed this up per the package directions, and then I'm using my little ice cream scooper there. This is actually a cookie scoop, but I'm using it to portion out my muffins. I'm just putting 2 little scoops in each muffin cup. I'm using paper liners for this. They worked out fine. I would say that you probably want to spray these with some cooking spray like I did here, just because this particular mix was very sticky, and I think if I hadn't have sprayed the muffin liners, that they definitely would have not come out. So it said it would make 12 muffins, but I actually got 11, which is fine. And then I'm just taking the rest of the topping that was in the box and putting that, kind of sprinkling it over and pressing it down into the muffin batter. And then I will go ahead and pop those in the oven. The package suggested to bake these at 350 for 22 to 27 minutes. I put them in for 23 minutes. I ended up having to add an extra 3 or 4 minutes. But anyway, once they were done, I let them cool in the pan for a little bit, and then I like to put them out on a cooling rack to let them cool the rest of the way before I box them up and put them in a Tupperware. Connor was sitting at the island at this time, and he kept asking me for one, and I kept telling him they were super hot, that he could have one when they cooled off, but he was just super impatient. He loves muffins. So those will be good for breakfast this week. And the next thing that I'm going to make is some hard-boiled eggs. So ever since I've had an Instant Pot, I've been making hard-boiled eggs in my Instant Pot, and it's great. I will never go back to doing it any other way because they're just so easy to peel. So how I do it is I use the 5-5-5 method. So I cook the eggs on high pressure for 5 minutes with a cup of water on a trivet. Then I let it do a natural pressure release for 5 minutes, and then I soak them in ice water for 5 minutes. I usually actually soak them longer than 5 minutes. Most of the time I leave them in there for 10 to 20 minutes, but after they're cool, you can see how easy they are just to crack and peel, and the shell comes right off. So we like to use these for breakfast. The kids will have them for breakfast, or I will make up some snack boxes and put them in there, or I can make deviled eggs out of them during the week, just kind of a variety of things. So I'm going to go ahead and keep these whole. I'm going to put them in a glass dish, and we will have those for the week. Okay, so I also wanted to make up some like Lunchable or snack boxes since I was going to be gone this week. This is a quick something that the kids can pack in their lunch, or even have after school or something like that. So I have these easy lunch boxes from Amazon, and I will leave a link to those in the description box below. I like these because they're smaller than the regular ones, but they do a great job of keeping things separate so you can store them in the fridge and eat them later for meal prep. So in these little boxes, I am putting some cubed up cheddar cheese along with some turkey pepperoni. I'm putting 1 hard-boiled egg that I sprinkled with salt, some cashews, and then I'm just sprinkling a little bit of M&Ms in the cashews for a sweet treat. And I thought that it needed a little bit more meat, and so I had some salami in the refrigerator that I am just kind of folding up and putting in with the pepperoni. So we will have those in the fridge for this week. Here's a look at all of the meal prep I did today. So I have my carrots and celery and onion for the chicken gnocchi soup. That will save me time, along with my chopped up onion for my pot roast. I washed up all my grapes and put them in this reusable bag along with my pears, so those will be out on the counter for everyone to have. I also prepped this steak salad with blue cheese and blue cheese dressing. I ate that the other day. It was delicious. I also have some iceberg lettuce that I washed, and the chicken salad for my husband to take to work this week. I made 2 of the snack boxes that I just showed you. So those turned out really good. And then hard-boiled eggs, you can see that the kids have snagged some of those already. I also made that pork tenderloin, which I sliced up and put in a dish, and the cinnamon streusel muffins for the kids' lunches. So that is it for this week's meal prep. This meal prep probably took me about 2.5 to 3 hours, a little bit shorter than I normally do. But again, I was trying to keep it simple this week. So thanks for watching again, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.